We need to be serious. We need to commit ourselves to being led by the Holy Spirit. Now, you're led by the Holy Spirit, beloved, based on what you have read in the Word, encouraged at the church that you attend, while involved at ministry, praying to God for grace. Now, have we tied that all up? No, I need to say that, beloved, because when you start saying being led of the Holy Spirit, man, you've just opened the gate for all the Fruit Loops to come out of the woodworks. Saying, God told me, God. My Lord, if it isn't in the Word, just shut up. You know, I've had more people tell me what God says, and I just know they'd had a double pepperoni pizza just before they went to sleep the night before, because this had to be some nightmare. But what's the opposite of being led by the Holy Spirit? The opposite of that, beloved, is being led by our flesh. Our flesh. You know what our flesh is? Our flesh is the bad part of life, honey. It's the bad intentions. It's the sin nature that wants to rise up and control us. If we're not being led of the Holy Spirit, then we're going to be led by anger. We're going to be led by jealousy, by unforgiveness, lack of trust. Some of you are holding grudges against me in this house right now. See, that's being led of the flesh. Let me let you in on a little secret. Every service before I come up to this podium, I have a prayer that I say every time. And part of that includes, Lord, let the flesh be bound in this house today, and let the Spirit of God be loosed into our hearts. I never cease to pray that prayer, because I want the Holy Spirit to control us. I want the Holy Spirit to lead us. And He's going to lead us in a path of righteousness for His name's sake. He's not going to lead us in a bunch of nonsense. There's so many things that I could say. There's so many instances I could give you. Years ago, this gentleman is no longer with us. But he came to me and he said, Pastor, he said, God has spoken to me and He wants me to open up a coffee house. And I said, tell me about it. And he started talking about it and everything. I told him, I said, you know what? I said, you really need to pray about that, because that's a great idea for the 70s. But every coffee house that I've ever seen really doesn't work. And this was quite a while ago. I said, sometimes the gospel never changes, but the methods change. Well, I'd also known a little bit about this individual, and he was an old rock and roller that just wanted to revitalize his past. He had one talent, and that was playing the guitar. So I could begin to see, I could see the flesh in action here. And I said, you know what? I said, we need to just wait on this, and we need to pray more about it. And if God begins to open the doors, then we know it's the leading of the Holy Spirit. Well, in the meantime, see, he went off in his own. He didn't like what I had to say. Number one problem, he was unwilling to listen to delegated authority. If he would not submit himself to God's delegated authority, he would not submit himself to God, and proof positive the Holy Spirit was not leading him. Because all I asked him to do was wait to see if we could try the spirits and see whether they be of God. Something I've learned in my life. If God gives you a vision, beloved, it's like a pregnancy. You've got to wait until God brings it to birth. If you don't, it's called an abortion. And so I was trying to instruct him, but you don't want to believe in authority. That's a threat, right? That's somebody mean, somebody trying to control you. That's 2 Timothy chapter 3. So what did this individual do? He went behind my back and started going through the church telling everybody, everybody's excited. Everybody loves something new. Oh, it's new. I want to be used of God. So he got a couple of groupies together, latched himself onto somebody who had a good paying job. This individual started bankrolling. They rented a little place up on Michigan Avenue, started in business. How sad that whole thing was. It was an absolute nightmare from the very beginning. The guy that bankrolled it, his wife said, honey, I don't really think we should do this. We can't really afford it. And he rebuked his wife and he said, God is speaking to me and this is what we should do. Oh, there's the head of the home not listening to the woman. Big mistake.